Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Today I want to talk about some K-beauty products that kind of reinvigorated my love for Korean skincare. Towards the end of last year, I feel like I was in a bit of a slump. I was a bit like, Like it all got a bit samey, it was all very trend driven, but these are the products that I'm like, this is why we love K-beauty. This is why it's always going viral and always so popular. Let's start off with this product, which I'll introduce in a minute, but I kept seeing people online talk about this Dominas effect. And then I read this Wall Street Journal article. When I saw a 70-year-old has erased brown age spots in just 2 weeks, I knew I had to try this cream that he was using for myself. And they were talking about this Dominas Brown Spot Cream. So that's when I started going on a hunt for this product that everybody was talking about online. But luckily, Dominas came to me and they are sponsoring the segment of today's video. So one line from this article stuck out to me in particular. This is where the guy says that the niacinamide in the Dominas cream wiped out so many of my brown age spots, I no longer recognize the backs of my hands. Now, to me, that's not just hype. That's not a TikToker trying to build up virality. That is all the proof I needed to try this product for myself. This article was written by a man in his 70s, someone whose skin had really been through it all. We're talking sun damage, scars, and even skin cancer. And after trying pretty much everything, he found products that worked not because they were trendy or going viral, but because the ingredients were actually backed by science and the products just did what they said they were going to do. They use a stabilized niacinamide complex paired with 5th-gen tranexamic acid, a stable form of vitamin C, and 5 patented brightening complexes. And it's designed to target all 3 stages of melanin production. So that's production, transfer, and activation, which makes it even more effective on more older, stubborn pigmentation. Now, Dominas was actually developed by Korea's pigment experts who have spent almost 67 years studying hyperpigmentation. That's how I knew I could trust them. And this particular formula is actually clinically proven to visibly fade even 3-year-old brown spots in as little as 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm actually just getting started with this. And honestly, if you know my content, niacinamide and vitamin C haven't always been my go-to for dark spots at all, but this formula sounds different. I don't have a lot of obvious hyperpigmentation, but I do kind of have small patches around my hairline. So if this cream can even those out, then my skin in general is just going to look so much more clearer and more even. It's fragrance-free, gentle enough for even sensitized skin, no issues with rosacea whatsoever, and it has a really nice lightweight essence-like texture. And it's also packed with ingredients that support overall skin health, like panthenol to soothe, adenosine for elasticity, along with all those evening and brightening ingredients too. So I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I've seen the evidence. I've read the reviews, sponsored and non-sponsored, and I'm now putting it to the test for myself. So come back for updates. I'm pretty sure they're going to be good. And of course, thank you to Dominas for sponsoring this segment of today's video. Please find the links below. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Let's move on to a moisturizer category that for me, I was like, this is gimmicky. This looks terrible. I don't really like this. But I've been trying out the VT PDRN Capsule Cream 100. And let me just say, these capsule creams are more than just a gimmick. If you're into hydration and glow, but want something that little extra when it comes to the skin barrier support and elasticity, this is a great one to go for. As I said, I used to hate these moisturizers. They kind of made me feel like a little bit sick. Like when I looked at them, I was like, oh, yeah, all those capsules, a bit gimmicky. Until I tried the Sunboon Editor one, and then this one. And my thought process has gone from it's kind of gimmicky to it's actually like a perfect customizable moisturizer. So first of all, this cream, the PDRN cream, is kind of recommended for those whose skin is starting to feel a little bit loose, a little bit saggy, not saggy, but you know, it doesn't quite have that bounce back that you maybe had in your 20s, early signs of aging, dullness, or if you're just in that like, my skin needs something kind of moment, you know, where you don't quite know what's up, but you need a little bit more like injection of life into your skin. It's a really interesting texture. It's this lightweight gel cream, super lightweight gel cream, that's the clear part, with these tiny green capsules, and they melt down really, really easily as you massage it into the skin. I think people look at these and think they're like popping capsules. They're not. They're just another moisturizer suspended in another moisturizer. So they just melt down perfectly. And this moisturizer leaves your skin looking super, super juicy and bouncy, but not greasy. It feels watery, like it's really, really nice, and it's worked perfectly for me in the morning as well as in the evening, waking up with nice plump skin. Of course, the big selling point here is PDRN, and I think PDRN is getting to a point now where people think it's gimmicky because it is everywhere, but it's actually very, very good. VT use a plant-based PDRN extracted from ginseng, so it's not real PDRN, but it gives the same kind of finishing touches, you know, same kind of benefits. But VT use ginseng PDRN, they call it, because apparently it's a bit gentler. It supposedly has better absorption thanks to its lower molecular weight, with the idea that it's going to help boost elasticity and firmness and overall radiance. So I love this. I've not been very good at like picking the capsules. I used to, like, when I first started, I'd pick out one and then try and do equal parts. Now I just kind of like put a finger in, grab a capsule, scoop out a little bit more clear cream. But yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. My skin looks so smooth when I use it in the morning. There's no overpowering fragrance as well, which I usually don't mind, but it smells a bit earthy if anything, but super gentle, super skin friendly in my opinion. Oh, we also got ceramides in here too, 9 types of peptides, panthenol, 10 types of hyaluronic acid, squalane as well. It's just a perfect all-round moisturizer. Ilso melting sebum softener. I talk about this all the time over on my TikTok. I'm not sure how much I talk about it on this YouTube channel, but I didn't expect to be using this as much as I do. Whether you're dealing with really congested, clogged pores, blackheads, or like stubborn, oily buildup on your nose or on your chin, or you just kind of want to clear the look of sebaceous filaments for like a night, or you want your makeup to sit better on your nose, because sebaceous filaments are natural, we need them, but this will get rid of them temporarily, of course. And obviously the more you use it, the more you keep up with using this, the clearer your nose is going to look. So what is it? I haven't explained what it is actually. This is almost like a melting liquid, right? But in like a watery essence-like form. They say to apply it before your cleanser, which makes sense now. I've always been applying it after cleanser. But you apply this on a cotton pad, let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, and it starts to soften and break down that sebum and blackheads without scrubbing or ripping or squeezing. The key ingredients we have in here are actually kind of like fruit extracts that have these natural kind of exfoliating properties, as well as it being a little bit more acidic. So it breaks everything down, but still very, very gently without kind of like harsh exfoliation. And then you take a scraping tool or even just a cotton bud and gently, not even scrape at your nose, you just kind of like gently glide the tool over your nose and all this crap comes out. Now, people have asked me, they've been like, surely that's just the product that's coming out on the tool. It's not. I've done a video on my TikTok where I showed the product used on my arm versus on my nose, and on my arm the liquid that came off, if any, was completely clear. It was just the product. On your nose you see the sebaceous filaments, you can see some blackheads. It's like like a yellowy kind of gunk, you know. But yeah, it's perfect. This is starting to get more hype online, but I just wish more people would use it. Every time I do a video about this, they have not sponsored me ever, I don't think. No, they don't. They don't need to, because I talk about it all the time. But whenever I talk about this, people are like, oh, this is a sponsorship. I think because of the way I review product. It's not. I love it. I wish people would see it as not a gimmicky thing, but a really nice temporary way to give yourself a clearer looking nose. Skin 1004, Madagascar Centella Tea-Trica B5 cream. I did a sponsorship with them, I think on TikTok. For this cream, I got to pick the product I wanted. This is great if you've got angry, inflamed skin, or you feel like, you know, when you know you're gonna break out, this is a good one to use. As is with everything from Skin 1004, it's got Centella in, and it's all about calming the skin, barrier repair, and breakout support without being heavy and greasy or like a thick spot treatment kind of thing. It's got a very lightweight gel cream texture that sinks in very, very quickly. It's one of those creams you put on your skin and then it kind of feels like water just like going into your skin. If you have very dry skin, you might find this too not enough, you know? So in the evening, I would probably put like slug over the top of this or use like a PDRN stick or something. But yes, we have, of course, Centella Asiatica, panthenol, that's the B5, which we'll talk about more in a minute, and Tea-Tree, which is where the Tea-Trica comes in. So you're getting calming, healing, acne, breakout support all in one product. And despite being targeted purely for like troubled skin, I guess you can say, it's still got that hydrating, moisturizing quality of a gel cream. And it's like instantly cooling as well. So my rosacea flare-ups, my rosacea loves Tea-Tree. My breakouts have Tea-Tree and I don't know why. So this has a really nice cooling, healing touch to my routine. Now, this has been compared online to the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast, and no, I think both contain panthenol for skin soothing, hydrating, barrier strengthening. Both include certain silicones that could help protect and smooth, essentially, containing humectants and emollients as well, like glycerin or similar stuff like that. And both are targeted towards compromised and irritated skin. But that's kind of where the similarities end. Your main actives and the main purpose of the Skin 1004 Tea-Trica B5 cream is like mandelic acid, niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, whereas the Cicaplast is panthenol, madagascar, zinc, copper. So you get that like really real thickness to it. I don't know. I guess if you're looking for something to soothe irritated skin, this is a lightweight, not even alternative, but option. But if you have drier skin, I would say to use the Cicaplast. But I wouldn't compare them, you know? I wouldn't compare. Oh, Arencia Holy Hyssop Serum. I think, again, full disclosure, did a sponsorship for the red version of this one. My skin has been drinking this up. I'm nearly out of it, very nearly out of it. Again, Arencia is another brand that I thought were all hype, but their cleansers and potted serums, again, have just given me a new love for those product categories. What first caught my attention was the texture of this. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't get it. I was like, why would I want to use a serum in that form? Like, this is like a mask. It feels time consuming and messy, but I love the consistency when I finally got around to using it. It felt extra hydrating somehow from the moment you apply it. I think it's because it's thicker than your typical like watery serum, and you can use it as a mask as well. You can leave it on for like 10 minutes, then rub in. Saying that though, it spreads so easily, absorbs super quickly, no sticky residue, no weird film. It leaves your skin looking smooth, fresher, again, quenching. I'd say it gives more of a soft glow than that glass skin sheen that everyone's after. But either way, your skin will look noticeably healthier after this. So the star ingredient is of course the hyssop extract, which is packed with vitamins A, C, and E. You've got antioxidant protection in there too, brightening and calming. So yeah, hyssop isn't a common ingredient, but I do feel like it's doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this product. We also have niacinamide, standard, right? Helps with brightening, texture, sebum production, as well as we have adenosine as well. Panthenol, ceramides, multi-molecular weights of hyaluronic acid. So it's very much a barrier-focused hydration first kind of formula. And what I love about this as somebody with rosacea and easy irritated skin is it doesn't try to be overly active or intense, which I feel like a lot of people look for in their actives nowadays. It's not pushing these high percentages. It's rather just like combining all these really nice, calming, beneficial, healing ingredients, which is what my skin needs on a daily basis. Yeah, I love this. I can actually see this being a bit of like a holy grail, like a long-term staple. Once I finish this one, I'm going to move on to they have like a rice version, like a white version. So I'm going to use that. I just bought their charcoal and yuzu cleanser as well. So this is a brand that has excited me over the last 6 months for sure. I mentioned this over on TikTok. Why did nobody stress how good this product was? This is the S.NATURE Squalane Moisturizing Cream, and it's been popular for a very, very, very long time, but no one said why. I was like, it's like a cream. It's just a cream. Apparently it's got the nickname the Moisture Genius Cream, and I know that sounds like marketing hype, and it is, right? But once you understand the idea behind it, it kind of makes sense. It kind of earns that title. So the whole concept behind this cream is based on what they call the sponge cake principle. Stick with me here. I know it sounds like something TikTok invented, and it probably is actually, but it's actually a really clever way to explain long-lasting hydration. I don't know how scientifically sound this is, so you might need to correct me, but the idea is that, like, you know how sponge cakes stay moist and soft all day, right? So thanks to the ingredients in here, like glucose and xylitol, humectant sugars that pull moisture in and keep it there, they're saying that this cream uses the same logic as creating like a good moist sponge, right? So combining those exact ingredients keep your skin hydrated in a similar way. It's cute branding, but they've also patented this moisturizing sugar tech, and it really, really works. It really works. I use a lot of creams, obviously. This one at first feels standard. It's a little bit like Embryolisse, but nicer, but the hydration really does last. This has become just my daily go-to moisturizer because I know I can rely on it. It's like a soft, water-rich cream, very spreadable, quickly absorbs, leaves your skin feeling very plump without the stickiness. A bit of a dewy sheen, but like more natural. It always looks exacerbated under studio lighting, but your skin just feels hydrated from the inside out, not just coated in product. As I mentioned, we have squalane in here, peptides, betaine, hyaluronic acid, more barrier-loving ingredients too. It's just so lightweight, but somehow quite occlusive at the same time, like enough to lock in moisture and all that hydration and the 8 types of hyaluronic acid, etc., etc. I bought this from Olive Young. Skin Cupid, if you're in the UK, sell it. They sent me one as well. And now a serum that I'm trying of theirs. And then I bought 2 more from Olive Young because I love it so much. Is that it? That is it. Oh my God. Okay. So those are products that I've really, really, truly been loving. Let me know if you tried any of these before in the comments down below. Again, thank you so much to Dominas for sponsoring a segment of today's video. I'm excited to see results from this. I finally taken like a really good before picture of my forehead. So we'll see, we'll see. All products, of course, will be linked in the description box down below. And that is it from me. I'll see you next time.